Personal protective equipment. Not the most exciting thing to talk about, but probably one of the most important. Let's start with respirators, and just before we get started, I just want to clarify that I'll make it clear throughout the video whether I bought the items with my own money or whether they were gifted. None of the companies who make these products know that I'm making this video, and no one is paying me to say nice things. All of the opinions expressed are my own. And also I'll leave links to all of the items I talk about in the description box below, regardless of whether I like them or not. So as you can see, I've tried quite a few respirators in the past on my quest to find the perfect one for me. The GVS Eclipse mask was the first one I bought, and quite ironically, having spent so much money on all of the others, it's actually my favourite one. But to explain why, I'll need to talk about why I bought the rest of these. The second one I bought was this, and in my opinion, it's the worst of the bunch. This is the Trend AirAce. If ever there was proof that you don't always get what you pay for, this is it. I paid about £45 for this. I wore it a handful of times, and at that point the straps were badly perished and they lost all of their elasticity. Yes, I could probably replace them, but I shouldn't have to. For that reason, this is a complete and utter rip-off in my opinion. The things that appealed to me about this one were first that the replacement filters are relatively cheap, and secondly, the filters are really large. Lots of surface area, which the marketing information says means they last much longer. In reality, I didn't find that they were any more effective than any other masks that I've worn. It's also pretty huge, and it makes you look a little bit ridiculous. Not that it matters if you're working alone in a workshop, but I think you'd be lucky not to get the mickey taken out of you if you were to wear this in the company of others. So yeah, this one in my opinion, no good. This one here I think was the third one I bought, the Sunstrom, and it's a decent mask, and this one has a large pleated filter with lots of surface area too. It's similarly priced to the Trend AirAce, but with far superior quality straps, and it's much more comfortable. Replacement filters though are quite expensive. I think it was this one that I bought next from Amazon, mainly because it was cheap and it came with loads of free filters. And it's okay, but it's a little bit on the small side, even though I've got quite an average sized face. I do think this is a good cheap option though for anyone with a smaller face than mine. My second favourite is this one, which I bought to use specifically for paint fumes and stuff like that. So that's the only time I use this one. The straps seem reasonably good quality, they're nice and thick, so I should imagine they will last quite well, although I haven't used this a great deal, so perhaps it's too early to tell. But it works well, it's comfortable to wear, and I've been happy with it. This one here is the Stealth Mask, and this one was gifted to me by Stealth Mask, and I believe this is identical in every way but the colour to the Trend Air Stealth. In fact, I even saw in an online woodworking forum a few months ago that someone had bought the Trend one, and when they got it out of the box it was green like this one, so I'm assuming that means they're made in the same factory, and maybe on that day they ran out of the red components. This mask is okay, it's compact and it's comfortable. I'm not crazy about this clip thing on the straps. It's been designed with the intention of it being easy to secure to the back of your head, but if you're trying to do that with your hands behind your head, it's anything but easy. Replacement filters are a little bit on the pricey side again, but there's one thing that really lets this mask down, along with this one, and this one, and that's the fact that they all have a combined strap. I've come to realise over time that having two independent straps at the back works a lot better than having one combined strap like these ones. They easily get twisted and are awkward to use, and I find that I'm just constantly fiddling about with them, trying to get them straightened out and trying to get the tension right on both the top and bottom straps so that they are comfortable to wear. Some definitely do the combined strap better than others. For example, I've never really had too many issues with the Sunstrom, and the Air Stealth isn't too bad either. The trouble with PPE is that the more hassle it is to put on, the less likely you are going to bother putting it on at all. And that's why I find myself always coming back to the GVS Eclipse mask. It's the one that I've used the most, and yet the straps have lasted really well. And even though this is the first one I've bought, it still works great. It's comfortable, it's compact, good quality, and it's reasonably priced. So this is by far my favourite, and it's the one I'd recommend over all of the others. It's not perfect. If it was perfect, I wouldn't have bought all of these others. You do still get a build-up of condensation inside on a cold day if you wear it for long periods of time, but the same is true for all other respirators that I've tried. This one here also has two independent straps, so this is my second favourite, and I'd recommend this one too. The Sunstrom is also a decent mask, but that just misses out on being one of my favourites. Now onto hearing protection. I've got 4 pairs of ear defenders. I keep these dotted around the workshop, one at the table saw, one at the miter saw, and one at the bandsaw, just so that they're always within arm's reach and I don't have any excuse not to wear them. 3 of these don't have a brand name on them, and they definitely vary in build quality, but in terms of protecting your ears, they all work just as well as each other. So my advice would be that you don't need to spend silly money if you want good hearing protection. A cheap pair works great, but obviously if you spend a bit more, you're probably going to get something that lasts a bit longer and doesn't always fall to bits like this one if it drops on the floor. If you have a bit more money to spend and you want something that works just as well, but also allows you to listen to music, podcasts, or even take phone calls, then I'm really keen on these steel ones, which I now tend to pretty much wear all day, every day whenever I'm working. I know listening to things while working isn't for everyone, but personally I find it helps my concentration rather than hinders it. So I'm always listening to either music or podcasts while I work. These are really nicely made, they feel very robust, and I should imagine they'll cope with a fair amount of abuse. These ones have already coped with a fair bit from myself. The sound quality isn't exceptional, but it is good, and they isolate noise from machines in the workshop really, really well. I don't really have any complaints about these at all. I really like them. Hello, Future Keith here. Shortly after shooting this video, I just received these, which are a different style of ear defenders from Milwaukee. These are in-ear ones rather than over-ear. And for me, these are going to come in really handy on those occasions when I want to wear both ear defenders and safety glasses, and sometimes a respirator too. Like if I'm grinding something, for example. These are adjustable, as you can see here. So you can kind of place the headband wherever you want it to be. I've not worn these yet, but I think there's a special use case for these, which I'll talk about in the next section of the video, which is safety glasses. Onto eye protection, and I've got a few pairs of safety glasses, as you can see. These ones here, the sort that you get free with tools. I really wouldn't recommend these at all because protecting your eyes is important. These 3 pairs were gifted to me by Milwaukee, who are a tool sponsor of the channel. Then I've got a pair by Bolle, which I don't like at all. The quality control on these is awful. When I put them on for the first time, I noticed that there was a major imperfection on the right-hand lens, which obscures my vision, and I really don't know why I didn't send them back. This pair were gifted to me by Tool Freak, and I like these apart from one issue. On the plus side, they are a great fit and they really wrap around your face, leaving practically no gaps for anything to get into your eyes. But I just can't get on with these anymore because I find that the tension that these arms leave on that area behind your ears is far too much. It actually gives me headaches, especially if I'm wearing these with some ear defenders over the top. I don't know if that's an issue that's specific to me or whether other people get that too. I'd be interested to know, so let me know down in the comments if that affects you too. And that's one of the reasons why I actually like using these, even though they're a cheap pair, but they have this wraparound elasticated strap thing. And if I wear these with ear defenders over the top, I don't get that issue. So even though these aren't anything special, I actually really like them. Out of the 3 Milwaukee pairs, these ones here are by far my favorite, and these are the ones that I always reach for. Again, because these arms don't apply too much pressure. You can see here there's quite a lot of flex in them. I find these ones really comfortable, and again, they offer really good wraparound protection. The other 2 are equally as good in terms of comfort, but again, I personally find the tension that the arms leave on the side of my head a bit of a problem when worn with ear defenders. And hello, it's Keith from the future again. And that's where I think these new in-ear ear defenders are going to come in really useful for me, as these don't apply pressure onto the arms of the safety glasses, thus avoiding that annoying headache problem. Please subscribe to my channel for more weekly woodworking videos. If you'd like to help support the channel, plus get early access to my videos, exclusive videos like the ones on screen now, free project plans and cut lists, and a name credit at the end of my videos, you'll find links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description box below. Thanks for watching.